John is coming to us from our remote studio at the National Religious Broadcasters Association in Nashville. And John is the director of a new documentary called Babies Are Killed Here. John, welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, John, well, let's talk a little bit about this new documentary. I want to give you a couple minutes to talk about what it's about. And so tell us what this documentary is about and what prompted you to produce it.
Well, the documentary is called Babies Are Murdered Here. And what it is we just went to an abortion clinic in our area in Syracuse, New York, our church, Christ is King Baptist Church. And they were advertising on their website that they didn't have any protesters going to the clinic. And so it would be a safe place for women to go who are interested in having an abortion. And so when we saw that, we'd already been going to the Planned Parenthood, so we decided, well, it's time to change that situation. We're going to go out there. And a friend of ours, part of the church family, wrote a sign just says, "Babies are murdered here." And we stood out in front of that clinic with that sign. And a friend of mine, Marcus Pittman, who directed the movie, I co-produced the movie, Crown Rights Media directed and co-produced the movie. He came out there and had filmed some of this and filmed the reactions of the abortionists and filmed the reactions of the people coming and just seeing this very simple sign made with some poster board and some markers. And we were just impressed with the reaction to that. And we did a trailer, about a 2-minute trailer that went out on the internet. And before we even had a documentary put together, people were imitating this and around the country. And so we just started filming what people were doing with this Babies Are Murdered Here concept around the country.
So just that simple, just a sign with that one statement on it, babies are murdered here, again stating that, look, this is not a blob of tissue in the wombs of these women. These are babies, and they're being murdered. Their innocent lives are being snuffed out by the abortionists in these clinics. So that's babies are murdered here. That's like 4 words, but
right.
That's enough to kind of generate some pretty intense reactions, apparently.
Yeah, and when in the pro-life movement, there's been kind of a hesitancy to even use the word murder when we talk about abortion. I think probably in a way to try to appeal in almost a politically correct way to people and say, well, it's a choice, adopting some of the pro-choice terminology. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is say, look, let's look what the Bible calls this. This is murder. And the conscience of the women who come to the clinics is pretty evident. You'll see on the film at babiesaremurderedhere.com. It's free. You can watch it for free on the internet. You'll see the reactions of the women. These are not the reactions of people who are victims. These are the reactions of people who are murderers. They know that what they're carrying in their womb is not a blob of tissue or a clump of cells. That this is a baby that's in the womb. And so you see evidence of that in the documentary as well.
We had a guest on the program some time ago who had just taken home video with an iPhone of their stance outside an abortion clinic, and the boyfriend of the woman that went in for the abortion came out and started beating up these 2 guys that were out on the sidewalk with their signs. And the girlfriend called, and she admitted, without realizing what she was doing, in the conversation, she was defending her boyfriend. She was upset with the people that had taken the video, upset with the guest I'd had on the program in the prior segment. But she used the word baby to describe what she was carrying, and she said the time wasn't right for the baby. And she referred to it as a baby. So when you kind of catch them when they're not on their guard, they will admit the truth about what it is in the womb of a pregnant woman.
We've even seen that with abortionists themselves. At that clinic that I referred to that really started the film, we were speaking with one of the head nurses there, and we asked her what percentage of babies they murdered, and we put it exactly like that. What percentage of your business? It's an OBGYN office, and so they do a certain number of abortions, and they actually help a certain number of babies come to term. And we said, what's your percentage of babies that you murder here? And she said, it's about 50-50. And so
she didn't bat an eye and basically accepted the premise of your question by answering it.
Exactly. And they've never backed off of that anytime we've ever interacted with them. They know it's a baby.
All right, John. Well, listen, I appreciate very much you taking time to drop in, and people can go to your website, babiesaremurdered.com.
Babiesaremurderedhere.com.
Babiesaremurderedhere.com. And you indicate that people can see it for free there. And I understand, I haven't had a chance to view it myself. I've got some colleagues here that have, and indicate that this is it doesn't have a graphic imagery or language, so it'd be safe. Be safe for screening in a lot of different contexts.
That's exactly right. A lot of churches have been showing it.
All right, John, I appreciate that very much. Thank you for taking time to talk with us. John Speed, director and producer of the new documentary, Babies Are Murdered Here. Appreciate it, John. Thank you very much, and God bless you and your ministry.
Thank you for having us on.
John Speed, the director and producer of the new documentary, Babies Are Murdered Here. You can get it you can see it yourself by going to the website, babiesaremurderedhere.com.